Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio.
This is Hunting for Answers, and I'm your host, Hunter. Every weekday, we tell a story that should never be forgotten. So let's begin. In November 1992, a 26-year-old mother was living with her husband and two young sons in U.S. military housing in Würzburg, Germany. Early one morning, neighbors were alarmed by screams coming from the family's apartment. After that morning, the mother and her two children were never heard from again. More than 3 decades later, all three are still missing. Where did they go? And what exactly happened before they disappeared? This is the story of Tina, Dale Jr., and Stephon Grogan. Tina was 26 years old and the mother of two boys, 6-year-old Dale Jr. and 4-year-old Stephon. Her sister, Shannon Ballinger, remembered Tina as shy and humble. She had been a cheerleader growing up, and Shannon said she was someone who spoke to everyone. Tina met Dale Grogan through a mutual friend when she was 17 years old. They later married. When Dale was transferred to Germany with the U.S. Army, Tina moved there with him, and the couple raised their two sons in Germany. By 1992, Tina had talked to her family about problems in the marriage. Her mother and sister said they encouraged her to come back to the United States. Tina even told them she planned to return home that September. But in the end, she stayed. Then, in the early morning hours of November 28th, neighbors heard a disturbance coming from the family's apartment. Years afterward, one of those neighbors said he remembered hearing yelling, loud banging, and sounds that made him think furniture was being moved or thrown. He said he and another resident went to the apartment to check on the family. When Dale answered the door, the neighbor said he appeared agitated. But he told them everything was fine and that he and Tina were just arguing. The men left. In the days after that night, the same neighbor said he saw Dale carrying large boxes to his car. At the time, he thought Dale might be moving. But weeks passed, and back in the United States, Tina's family still hadn't heard from her or the boys. Tina's mother, Cheryl Williams, tried repeatedly to reach her daughter in Germany, but she couldn't get in touch with Tina or Dale. Eventually, Cheryl turned to the American Red Cross for help reaching him. She sent several messages before she finally heard back. In January 1993, Dale called Cheryl. He told her Tina had packed clothes for herself and the boys and left. Cheryl didn't believe him. By then, more than a month had passed without a word from her daughter. Cheryl kept looking for answers. She reached out to a congressman in Pennsylvania for help. And in 1993, after the Army received an inquiry from Congressman Austin Murphy, an investigation into Tina and the boys' disappearance began. Once the search for Tina and the boys started, the Army looked for them in and around Würzburg. Cadaver dogs searched the area around the barracks and a nearby Army airfield. But Tina and her sons were not found. As the search continued, a bloodstain was found on one of the seat cushions in Dale's car. Tina's mother provided a blood sample so it could be compared to the stain. But German authorities said it was not a match. Years later, Tina's family would learn about something they hadn't known at the time. In 2001, German authorities sent Cheryl a letter about unidentified remains that had been recovered from the River Main. The remains were described as the torso of a Black woman. The letter said the remains had never been positively identified and that it had not been proven they were Tina's. But it didn't say when the torso had been found, what testing had been done, or what had happened to the evidence. By then, years had passed without any answers about where Tina and her sons were. The search had stretched from Germany to the United States, with authorities checking previous addresses, family members' homes, and schools. Evidence from the original investigation was also looked at again, but none of it led to Tina or her sons. Then, in December 2002, the active investigation was suspended and the case was classified as cold. Tina and her two sons had now been missing for 10 years. And for more than 2 decades after that, their family waited for a break in the case to come. In January 2025, something happened in Florida that brought new attention to the case. Dale was arrested in Nassau County during an unrelated law enforcement operation. He was accused of traveling to meet a minor. Days later, a Nassau County Sheriff's Office spokesperson said Dale tried to stab his eyes while inside his jail cell. He was taken to a hospital for medical care, and while he was there, the sheriff's office said Dale admitted to killing Tina and their two sons. According to the spokesperson, the statement was made in front of corrections officers, not investigators. Dale has not been charged in connection with Tina and the boys' disappearance. The U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Division, or Army CID, said its cold case unit received new information connected to his arrest. And more than 30 years after Tina and her sons were last seen, the case was reopened. Tina's sister, Shannon, said she didn't even know Dale had been arrested. She also didn't know the case was active again until Project Cold Case contacted her. She said her heart is broke, but that justice will prevail. Army CID is offering a $15,000 reward for credible information leading to the arrest and conviction of anyone responsible for Tina or her son's disappearance or death. Tina, Dale Jr., and Stephon still have not been found, and the search for answers continues. If you have any information that could help investigators, contact the Army CID Cold Case Unit. Contact details are listed in the show notes. For more episodes and case updates, follow Hunting for Answers. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, or join our Facebook community. If there's a story you believe deserves attention, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Until next time.
Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.